Welcome to the making of a DM. Hop on the jet with me today. Haha, the shit your financial and business advisors don't understand, and yet we do. This is something that changed my life and business, and it can change yours too. I'll be sharing with you in great detail about flying private and how it's helped me generate more revenue. So with that said, let's get started.
I'm Mark Evans, I'm Mark Evans, I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. It's time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker.
Boy, Mark Evans. Yeah, look at that. We're in a new studio up on the third floor in the house in Ohio. It's my secret cave. Thank you guys for being here. Hope you have an amazing day. So we're sitting here in Ohio. Just got done getting the first day workout in, getting stuff organized. What's cool about it's not cool. Having a couple houses sometimes can be a pain in the butt. So here, let me explain. Like, you forget, at least I do, I forget what I still have in my other houses and clothes and all that. And the truth is, like, if you like art pieces like I do, like I have this piece and if I buy one, I have to buy three if I like them, because I got to buy one for the house in Ohio, one for the house office space. Just that's where typically I'll have the original or whatever, depending. So clothes too. If you like a certain outfit, you should just buy two and be done with it. Put one in Florida, one in Ohio, and it is what it is. I know it sounds silly. These are real world problems I have over here, and it's annoying to say the least. But a lot of people replying and responding to yesterday's article about flying private. You know, I always wanted to know, how much does a private ticket cost from Florida to Ohio? I always would think about that. I'm like, man, I want to, when I was in the beginning stages of starting to make a little bit of money, I'm like, I want to fly private. I want to, I want my own plane. And then back when I started flying private, you actually used to have to buy cards. You have to buy 50 hours, 20 hours, 10 hours, whatever. And then you would just do that again. So they get your money today. So you send them 50 grand a day, and then they float your money until you actually use the credits, which is a pretty good model. It's kind of like when you go gambling, you go cash in your real cash for play chips. It's a very interesting mindset piece, by the way. That's all mental. So flying private part 2, the shit your financial and business advisors don't understand. So a lot of people, when I posted yesterday, I'm getting a response because it's like, man, why not just fly first class? You could definitely fly first class. And I do. I mean, if I'm traveling across the world, I typically am not flying private because I'm not there yet mentally and financially. It's, to go from here to, New York to Italy, probably about 200 to 250,000 round trip for something like that. And as opposed to just jump on a big airline and spend 25 grand or whatever first class, it's so much easier for me my pallet's there. But talking about this stuff, when I'm talking to my financial people or I'm talking to my business coaches, none of them ever told me to fly private. Actually, they always told me not to. They said, you got to preserve your money. They used to say stupid shit like, your employees will see you fly private. You got to be careful doing that. I'm like, but why do I care what my employees think, what I do? It's not their say. And not only that, I want them to fly private. So, again, we have all these weird thoughts about why one should do something. When I shared the story yesterday, I don't know if you saw it yesterday, about flying private and showing the exact amount, exactly who I flew with and all that, I was actually, to be honest with you, I was a little skeptical about sending it, but I knew I had to. Felt a little weird because I'm like, it's 20 grand. It might sound like a lot of money to a lot of people. I remember flying on the back of the plane, sitting by the shitter, because I thought that's where the safest spot was if the plane goes down. Why? Because that's what I was always told. I remember one time very clearly, and I talk about this in my first class article that I wrote, and I'll post it here in the comments section when we're done today. But I remember I was talking to someone very close to me. This is a true story. But I was talking to him. I'm like, I'm going to fly first class today. And they're like, what? Why would you ever do that? And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, do you understand when the plane goes down, no one survives in first class because it's the first spot that goes down? And I'm like, huh? If the plane goes down, aren't we all dying? At least I'm dying in style. That's what I thought immediately. But you got to understand, when you're as you're developing and growing your business, your life, your mindset, there's so many people that will try to infiltrate your brain with their shitty thoughts, their patterns, what they've been taught. They're just simple. You understand, every single person is someone carrying over they're spewing out junk that they learn from their mother, their father, their sisters, their brothers, their cousins, their uncles, their coaches, their mentors, whatever. Your job is, as you get older and start bringing more awareness to the world, is to start understanding we all are carrying over these thoughts. I'm doing it right here today. I'm sharing you my growth thoughts that I've actually experienced by doing. It started off as a thought. I want to fly private. And then I had to I had to go in the gym and work out the muscle, go from, the back of the plane to first class. And then there's a different type of first class when you're going out of the country, which my wife and I did too. Because now the tickets aren't $1,500. Now they're $7,000 to $12,000 a piece. And then now, again, I'm in the gym. I'm working out that muscle. I'm like, man, I kind of like this feeling. I kind of like having a bed. I kind of like when I get off that plane traveling 8, 10, 12 hours to a foreign country or another place. I feel super refreshed. I feel old. Why back in the day when I used to, I have to go out. I'd have to go home. I'd have to go to the hotel. I'd have to take a nap for a day. I'd have to get reacclimated to all these things. You're sitting in a seat like this, right? So these things that we think about, they have to turn into something. And I'm not saying you can't succeed if you don't fly first class. And I'm sharing with you the contrast of sitting in the back of a plane or flying private. And there's levels on flying private you could actually own. You could actually own a Hawker 800 for maybe $3 to $5 million, or you can go buy the big dog G750 for 65 or 70 million. There's different levels in that level. Or you could be like the Saudi Arabia prince and get a bunch of 747s and whatever they have. There's levels. A lot of people want stuff, but not in this lifetime. Why not? What are you afraid of? To me, this is all mindset expansion. I believe when I flew first class, I saw what the numbers change. I changed business differently. I started valuing experiences. And not only that, for all of you that says, money's not everything, Mark. So why do you get up and go to work? So why do you order the cheap stuff, not the expensive stuff? So why do you make decisions based off of money all the time? Do you control money or does money control you? That's the big difference. And I'm telling you right now, we only have one fucking shot at this thing called life. One. And I'm living it every day until I die. And until that day when I die, my goal is actually my life. My legacy lives on way beyond me and beyond my kids and beyond their kids, etc. Because we're plotting that path. We're doing it today. And by the way, when I go invest 20 grand, it's an investment to me, by the way, flying private. When I invest that 20 grand to fly from Florida to here, I gain, I literally hacked so much time. The car pulls directly up to the jet. We hop out, boom, snap a family pic. Hey, another year in the books in Florida. Let's get up to Ohio. Boom, we're in the jet, literally up into the air within 8 to 10 minutes. Boom, we land. Kids are playing, having fun. We're relaxing. No one's talking shit to me. Turn off your cell phone. You're on internet. It's like, fuck you. I'm a grown adult, dude. Get the fuck out of here. You think I can use a cell phone in an airplane? I don't need people to put your tray up. Why? See, the thing is everybody's about this control shit. I control me. And listen, I'm not just talking shit. I'm actually doing something about it. I fly private, so I don't have to deal with that stuff. I don't like to be told what to do as a grown man. And if you do, keep doing it. The difference is so many people are complaining about the problem, but not doing anything. I can't go change the airline's policies, clearly. So instead of changing them, I changed me and go fly private. That's how this thing called mindset works. You got to change. You got to evolve. You got to develop. So I could fight this. I could get pissed and get mad and do all these things. But when I fly private, boom, car pulls up, boom, everyone grabs stuff. I walk right in, boom, 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 check, cut. Oh, let's go. Boom, we take off. We do much. Try to take a nap, but that's not happening with 2 kids. Land in Cleveland. The car's at the tarmac waiting on us. Pop in the stuff. Boom, we head up to the car. Head up to the house, I should say. See, the thing is it's like it freaks me out, the sheepish mentality in the airports, honestly. It's very sheepish. Here's the single file line. Are you first class line? Or are you second class line? Are you this line or that line? Oh, by the way, if you got this star, you can sit dude, why can't we're grown people. He shows you how common sense is so common. If they have to have these kind of policies in place to tell someone you can't have hot coffee sitting on a table when we're getting ready to take off and go straight up in the air. This doesn't make sense. This is why they do it. I understand the meaning behind it. I just don't like to be told. I already know what to do. You know what I mean? So instead of changing, I change me. Instead of fighting it, I look inside of me and say, what is the solution? The solution starts with me. If I have a problem with it, I have to create my solution. And it might be me unbelieving my old truth. I started walking by people in first class. I'm like, why can't I be that person? I was embarrassed to even make eye contact with them. I almost felt like they were better than me for whatever reason. That's kind of how I was always taught. They must be a special elite class of people. Blah, 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 blah. Dude, the truth is, it's actually not the case from my experience. They're just hardworking people that figured out a way that understands maybe they're getting the free ticket. Maybe they got an upgrade. Maybe they travel 1 million miles a year. I don't know. I'm not there to judge it. And or maybe they understand the value of time and they invest in themselves because maybe they want to sit in luxury. Maybe they want to have the big seats. And if you've ever been stuck on the tarmac on an airplane, first class, you know, I've been stuck in situations where we're sitting on the tarmac for 5 hours for whatever reason. And in first class, we're getting served dinner. We're getting served drinks while everyone else is just like, oh, shit, I should have got something. And I'm not saying that's the only reason, but that's a reason I would be sitting in first class. That could happen. Again, I'm looking for what the possibilities could happen. And then I start looking for where's the opportunities to get bigger and learn from it. Same mindset that has you buying a jet must also drive you to generate the income to pay for the jet, plus accelerate your wealth mindset. Absolutely. Right? It's like anything. By the way, you guys understand we all are doing this now. It's exactly where you've invested in your brain. It's exactly what you've done to make the decisions. You are the exact, and I don't care. It's not mommy and daddy anymore. It's not your uncle. It's not your neighbor's friend that looked at you weird back in the day. It's all you now. You're in control. You're a grown adult that wants to make a decision in life to be a better person and do bigger things in life. Now we have to pony up and do the work. It's not always easy work. The truth is oftentimes it's not easy at all because it's so different. Your mind doesn't understand it yet because it's got to learn how to get it rolling, how to get it up and how to get it moving. The hardest part is getting started. The second hardest part is staying consistent, right? But you're trying to be consistent before you ever get started. Get started, get the cadence down, and then the consistency follows through the implementation. Once you start seeing a little bit of success, let's use weight loss, right? You got the 400-pound guy's got to get on the treadmill today because if not, tomorrow he's going to be bigger, right? Just get started. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be hard. But now you're started. You feel better. You might not like it. It's going to suck. Day 3, now you're sore. It's going to really suck. Now this is where the real game starts happening. You're pushing mental boundaries. It's easy to go backwards because it's comfortable. You know what to expect. When I eat bad, I know I'm going to feel like shit. When I fly commercial, I know I'm going to feel bad it literally ruins my day. You can ask my wife. If I'm sitting on the plane and I don't even know how to use the interweb that much on the phone. And they're like, shut your phone up. I told you. I'm like, I'm reading a book. Like, I'm a grown man and you're talking shit to me like this. And again, it's not to disrespect them. And I'm not trying to make it a thing. So instead of getting in that emotional state and ruining my day, because I'm going to try to ruin their day probably, right? Because it's going to be my reaction to what I say or how I say it or whatever. Because now I got a chip on my shoulder. It's not fun. It's not fun for me. It's probably not fun for my wife. And everyone gets affected. It's a problem. So I pay attention to that and I adjust. And I started asking myself, I talked to my financial guys, like, you can't afford to be spending all this money on private planes. I'm like, why? Show me why. Says who? I'm making more money now. Now that I'm flying private, I'm making even more money. Explain to me why. Well, based off of your business well, what they're seeing is a trailing indicator of who I had to become to make that a reality. See, a lot of times people aren't going to see what you see. That's okay. Don't let it stop you. By the way, I have a business coach that flies and meets me, and he won't ever buy a first-class ticket. So I'm very conscious and clear of that. That doesn't mean he's a bad business coach. That just means that I'm not talking to him about jets because he doesn't get it clearly. I'm not talking to him about flying first class because he doesn't get it clearly. But what I do talk to him about is strategic positioning. What I do talk to him about is managing people and becoming, understanding these values. So I'm very clear of what I'm using people for and what they use me for. And until you understand all this, you're really going to be stuck in a cycle where everyone's telling you what you can't do. Why can't you do it? Who says? Show me. Show me. You know what I mean? So, because they don't have anything to say. They're built negative. You guys understand that's how we're built. We're looking for the problem. That's why the people that make real money solve big problems. The bigger your problem you solve, the more money you're going to make. Do you think Dr. Johnson down the street in the same place he's been for $1,200 a month for rent, taking a family practice, sitting there, treating kids with sore throats and bruised up legs and stuff like that, is making more money than the heart surgeon that specializes in high level, heart surgery or whatever? Like, clearly the guy that's solving this problem, well, because he's solving big problems. That's why. It's real simple. And then, just like in business, most of you are out there trying to solve the problem that doesn't even exist. That's why you're building the next best CRM. That's why you're building the next best follow-up sequence. But you have no one in the front funnel. No one even knows who the hell you are. I always love, and this is what I love about the private jet world and the yacht world and all that. Everyone thinks they know all these rich people, but when you get out there and meet these people, they're not the people you think they are. They're nice. They smile. They say hi. They want to know who you are. They want to get to know. They're very curious. Most of them, not all, but again, don't generalize and say all. Everyone I've met so far up to date, doing this for many years now, is typically very open and talkative. And, we're talking about businesses. Literally within 3 seconds, we're all like, what do you do? Here's what I like. That's how it works. As opposed to sitting in the back of the airplane, no one looks at anybody, right? But they don't talk about anything productive. Oh, you see what's going on in the news, Nancy? Like, where's the production? Where's the opportunity? See, the thing is, when I'm on the jet, I got to pay for the jet. If I'm flying first class, I'm talking to the person beside me. I'm talking to the person in front of me. I'm talking to the person behind me. Because it shows you. You realize there's only 12 seats in first class, and then there's 240 in regular class. Does that not bother you? It should. It shows you the separation of what one believes they're worth. Picture this. I call this the king of the dipshit mentality. You've heard me talk about this. I like nice cars. Always have. Always will. I remember hanging out, all my buddies. There's 10 people. There's 10 cars. I'm pulling up in the Rolls. I'm pulling up in the Rover. I'm pulling up in the G. I'm pulling up in the Ferrari. I'm pulling up in something bigger. Not because I'm better, but because I appreciate and respect it. And I think a car is a direct correlation of what one feels, what one believes about themselves. I use a car as a tool. I'm not trying to be the tool. I'm trying, if you've never driven a Rolls, if you've never driven a Ferrari, if you've never don't talk shit about it because you don't know what you're talking about. You're only talking about what mommy, daddy, grandma, grandpa told you. You only talked about your thoughts about like why that car's disgusting or oh, you're materialistic. That's grandma, grandpa talking. You're just carrying their message. That's mom and dad talking. You're carrying their message. You've settled. Happened when you're 6, 7 years old. And they're like, Johnny, you can be whatever you want. I want to drive a fucking Ferrari every day, and I want to be on a Ferrari racing team, and I want to have a Ferrari jet, and I want to have a Ferrari yacht. And then you get 18, I'm like, get your ass to work and go to college, because if not, you're going to be a loser. You're going to be a loser just like all your other friends you hang out with. And like the cycle doesn't end. And now next time you walk down that plane and you look at the people in first class, know that you should be sitting there. Not because you're better than them, but because you've become a better person for yourself and you feel like you have different confidence. If you don't think that stuff gives you confidence, and this may sound shallow, it's not. It's the reality. If you don't like nice stuff, that says who you are on the inside. And you got to work on that. Who doesn't like nice stuff? I like nice music. I like nice toys. I like nice stuff. See, when I say nice stuff, most people go immediately to all the materialistic things. I like nice weather. Do you? Nice weather to you and me could be different. Nice cars could be way different. There's no right or wrong here. Again, but when we hear these words, it means something. I fly private. Oh, you must be stuck up. Oh, man, it's easy for you to say because you got money. Dude, it's a muscle. Everyone's saying they're big dogs. I value my time. Time is the only commodity I can't get back. By the way, I'll be back. I got to get to the airport, and I got to stand in the line, and I got to go fly, sit in the back of the seat. I got to load up on the last plane. I got to get out of the last plane and then go on the bus because I saved $3 down the street at the car parking lot for the airport. And then I'm going to get on the train, and then I'm going to do that. Like, it never ends. It never ends. But time is your biggest commodity, right? So why not treat it as so? It's the truth. You're seeing it. You're witnessing it. Someone might from outside in that doesn't understand the context of the conversation might think, like, man, That guy's got a private jet, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I'm buying time. You heard my problem with being on regular airlines. And then I shared the story of like why I like to fly private. I like to buy time. I like to do what I want. I don't like working with beginners. I hate everything about it. I don't want to convince you to go fucking do $10,000 of marketing. Why? Because what if it doesn't work? It works. I told you it does. I do it every day. I spend $10,000 a day. I spend way more than that a day on advertising. It works. And again, it frustrates me because I know what I'm doing on certain things in business. And when I tell someone to do something, it's bad. It kicks me out of my day. So what I did back in 2010, I killed a multi-million-dollar company because I was working with newbies and I hated it. That's the truth. I hated it. I want to help people that want to help themselves. I genuinely don't want your money if I can't help you, period. I'm not the business guy sitting in an office saying, go get these fuckers money, sell them whatever they want, get it. We need more money on the board. I'm more like, what do I want? Last year, I had almost 200 people in a room. I threw a fit. I didn't allow over 100 people to come to that event. Not because I'm better than them. It's because, one, I didn't like them because their talk, the way they talked, what they talked about or how they talked. And two, maybe they're too new. I didn't feel like I could add the value that they were looking for. Their expectations were not aligned with mine. See, most of you are chasing money. I'm not. I genuinely am not chasing the money. I want more of it. I don't need more of it. Well, I always need more of it, but for different reasons. Because what I've discovered in business, when you genuinely not just talk shit, but I want you guys to pay attention to your mentors. This is where I'm going with this story. I want you to pay attention to all your social media mentors that are out there saying they're killing the game of life. And listen, if you're killing the game of life, I love it. I think it's amazing. I know what it takes to be successful in business. It's hard. I know what it takes to work with the wrong people and the right people and the team. And this is a process, but all these guys are out there fronting for you. They're telling you they're killing the game of life, but yet they're always on the road. They're telling you they're killing the game of the life, but yet they're always trucking along, sitting in the back of the plane, bragging about, spending $12 on first class. Your alert systems have to go off. Like, that fucker doesn't value his time. I don't buy a shitty ticket and hope to get upgraded. I buy the first class ticket, period. I don't talk about flying private and talk about how time is so important, and yet everything I do goes against that statement. Flying, if I fly commercial, it takes an extra 2 to 3 hours minimum out of my life. And I can't get that time back. As opposed to private, dude, time. I don't wait on anything. They're waiting on me. We're taking off at noon. Cool. I'll be there around noon. It's all how you see it. And I'm not see it, but do it. I'm not just talking about this shit. I'm doing it. I'm working out in the gym, and you guys are watching me right now. It's all in the brain. You'll see the journey. I promise you within 10, but by the time I'm 50 at the latest, you'll see something like this. You'll see me flying around on something like this. The logo will be a little different. This is a Gulfstream 500. Something like this will be in my hangar. This will be old enough. We'll actually fly more. I don't fly that much now. That's why I don't own one. If a great deal came across, who knows? Maybe I would. But I have the visual. I'm in the gym. I see this. I see the jet every time I'm here in Ohio, and I have one in Florida. I see the jet. I think about myself in the seats. Light gray, dark wood, white and gray floors, nice tan tops on the tech. I know what it already looks like. And all of you guys are out. Most people are out there just talking. I wish social media existed. Well, maybe not, because I might not have used it. But social media, when my wife and I were traveling for 7 years in 2005, beyond, you don't even know the places I've been. You don't even know the stuff. How do you think 10-Minute Business Owner came about? How do you think Virtual Investing Made Easy came about? That was a book I wrote when I was on the walk of Camino de Santiago, 42-day walk across Spain. How do I talk about it? I'm talking through the journey through the book. And then the 10-Minute Business Owner came about. That's because I did that. It's not because I thought about it and it's a theory. And listen, I'm not saying you just work 10 minutes a day, but it's called 10-Minute Business Owner, because if you only had 10 minutes a day, what would you do? The power of constraints is a real thing. When I fly private, I want to share that journey with you guys because I want you to know I was scared. I'm still not scared. I'm still anxious. Am I being naive? Am I being overzealous? Am I being show-offish? I talk about this in The Magician vs. Meal, the thought on the thought. The thought for me is I'm here. I'm learning. Time is important to you, Mark. So let me ask you a question. If you had 3 hours of life left, and I said, I'll give you $1 million to take those 3 hours away, do you take it? The answer is no. You want your 3 hours. Money at this point means nothing. The truth is, everyone's talking about money is not a big deal. Money's not a big deal. Every decision you make is probably based around money. And we'll talk about this here in the future, but we need to get a better relationship with money. People are like, dude, that's like someone's yearly salary. First of all, if that's someone's yearly salary, go get a real job. I mean, that's not, I can make 20 grand. You could go yard selling and make more than 20 grand. Again, set your limits higher. We're all doing it at a level. Here's the levels. Your first car that you ever drove. Remember that first car? I know I do. I had a little S10. Why aren't you still driving it? What's changed? You've changed. You made a little bit more money. You started realizing that you need a nicer car, and you've changed. So if you can change without knowing you're changing, why not change on purpose? Why not change intentionally? Why not develop and evolve on purpose? Why not focus on this one life that we have? The jet to me is a time capsule. I just bought 3 or 4 hours of my time back for a small amount of money. Time is my problem. Time's always my problem. Even when I didn't have much money, it was my problem. Time is always in the equation of the issue. It's either going to serve you or hurt you. By the way, having a lot of time on your hands can hurt you as well. It's a devil's playground for me. That's why I like working. That's why I like pushing and prodding. That's why I like, helping, like trying to become a better person. I like to fill my time with productivity, with productive actions. No, you're on the journey of life with me right now. This is real. I'll share everything openly. I have nothing to hide. It is semi-scary to send that wire. But I know when I go to send the wire, why I'm really sending the wire is because I'm just bought 3 or 4 hours of my time. I just bought my emotions back because I don't have to have any airline agent saying, put your phone down or put your seat up or put your tray table up and blah, 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 blah. I'm okay with that's a good value exchange for me. It's a good value exchange for me. I've always been the type of guy that's always wanted to go in the back door, VIP access. I've always wanted to be the guy. I've always understood the value of pay a little more to get a lot more. Let me say it again. Pay a little more to get a lot more. I'm trying to buy experiences. I want the high price ticket to get the high price experience. It's what I want. You can't talk shit about it because I don't care. You know why? Because it's not about you. It's about me. And it might sound douchey, but like what I've realized as I've developed and evolved, everyone has an opinion. Very few count. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter. The lady's like, oh my God, you know how many kids you could feed with that car? She was being a jerk. And I said, actually, I did. I fed a lot of people with this car. It's called employees. People woke up there, busted their ass to go to work to build a beautiful piece of machinery like this Rolls-Royce Phantom. What gives someone the right to talk shit to you about what you invest your money in? If you're worried about don't cash your bullshit on other people. Don't cash your thoughts on what you think things are or aren't. I'm just sharing here. I'm not casting. I'm just sharing my beliefs of what I've seen. I grew up small town, Ohio, hillbilly boy, big feet. It doesn't just happen overnight. I didn't win the lottery. Definitely not an athlete to get all the money and do nothing with it. Like I've had to build business. I've had to work on myself. I had to constantly keep evolving. The truth is I haven't figured anything out of much. I'm just getting started. Like I'm more excited about where I'm going than where I'm at. And that's what you got to understand. You got to keep driving that. Dude, if I first class, really? That'd be like a dream. And then you do it. And then you understand it. And then you see the benefits from it. And then you're like, dude, I could fly private? What? How much does that cost? And that's like 20 grand. Oh my gosh. That's like a lot of money. And then you freak out, but you do it. See, the difference is freaking out and doing something about it when you freak out. This is where winners are made. And then you do it and you're like, oh my God, this is kind of cool. I could get used to this. Just like experiences. I'm going to most of you are trying to go cheap on the hotel. Go stay at the Four Seasons. Go stay at the expensive hotels. Get the butler service. It's worth it. It's worth it. Turn it into an experience. You're looking just to go to the thing and had the beautiful woodwork, the floor. Like there is a difference. There is a difference. But I'm telling you, flying private is a direct correlation of where I'm growing in my life and my business. You're seeing it happen before your eyes. That's why I'm sharing it with you. I have no agenda here except to help expand your brain, to help you get better results. Guys, again, you're going to make financial decisions in your business that are going to be big. You're going to make financial decisions in your business that are going to hurt. It's part of growing, but you're learning. You're staying in the game. You're buying the next thing. Like, here's the thing, as Dylan, it's interesting. He says, I never understood $400K for a Rolls Royce. Well, when I grew up, I never understood someone who would buy a $20,000 car. Keep in mind, I was only trying to buy a $1,000 car, though. That's the difference. It's not about the thing. It's about who you have to become to get the thing, in my opinion. Because like once it's about realization levels. You start understanding your worth. You start understanding your value. If you're using the car for a tool or whatever, it's all relative, but there's so many great opportunities once you unlock these doors, if you're doing it for the better good. It's very powerful. Your business will succeed at a higher level. Your team will grow rapidly. Your profits will definitely increase, and you're going to have more fun. It's fun flying private. Not only that, I feel very proud to fly private because my wife and my kids, they see dad talking about the stuff I'm talking to you about. They're watching. Daddy, you said you're expanding your mind and time is the biggest asset. Why are we sitting in the back of the plane? Son, I just talk shit. I don't actually do shit. Keep it up, boy. Of course not. It's like, dude, listen, they're watching. If I'm talking about it, there's a reason. I'm not just trying to blow hot air. I'm trying to expand. I'm working on the growth models. I'm pushing. I'm prodding. I'm having uncomfortable conversations, not just with myself, but with other people. When my financial guy's like, dude, you can't be spending 20 grand on that. Why can't I spend 20 grand? And first of all, it's my fucking money. I'll spend on whatever I want. But I want to understand why you're saying that. And then you realize he's never flown first class. You've realized that his job is to protect the money, not invest the money. There's a big difference. Protecting and investing are two different sides of the coin. So you got to understand what he's saying, but decipher the data to help serve you. Kids have the honesty filter naturally. Absolutely, Tyrone. And that's why I love hanging out with kids. They're real. They say the real shit. Why are you so short, Dad? Why are you so fat? Why are you bald? Where's your hair, Dad? I love it. I don't get mad at that stuff. Why? Because I think the problem is most of the world are, well, not, I don't think. 99.9% of the world are a bunch of pussies. That's the truth. All you guys want to talk about is bullshit that don't mean anything. And you're afraid to say the stuff that really matters. Be a fucking real person, dude. And that's the truth. Like, I think this is the problem with the world we live in. Everyone's so afraid to offend someone. If I say you're too skinny, now I'm skinny shaming. If I say you're fat, I'm fat shaming. If I say you're ugly, I'm ugly shaming. If I say you're dumb, I'm dumb shaming. Everyone has too much fucking time on their hands. They're trying to be cool. They're trying to fit in the clique. You guys see it around. It's happening right now more than it's ever happened. And I'm not going down that path. It's disgusting. But I don't focus on it. I focus on the me economy because I can control me. And I'm going to brainwash my kids to teach them to grow, to expand, to invest their money and time. Everyone's telling me they want more time, but when they get money, they don't do anything with it. They don't because it sounds cool. They want to go get the money. But if you want time and you have money, use the money to buy you time. That's how it works. And you don't have to have a lot initially. Hire an assistant. You just bought back 40 hours a week of your time. Hire an admin. Hire this. Hire that. There's so many things. Once you understand what time is about, use the money to gain back your time. Keep talking. I'm going to keep doing. One's going to win. One's not. I promise. That's how it works. So anyways, I'm going to bounce off here. I'm going to hang out with the kiddos. Enjoy the day here in beautiful Ohio. The weather's amazing. My walk was way different today than when I'm in Florida. It's like 69, 70 degrees. It's insane. Deer, not to say that stuff doesn't happen in Florida, but it's not deer walking around and it's not 70 degrees. It's already 85 or 90 and you're drenched within an hour. So awesome stuff. Appreciate you guys being here. If you need anything, hit me up. I'm here for you guys. Thinking about you, rooting for you. Go get that first class ticket and/or get that jet. Appreciate you guys being here. Happy Friday. Make the day count. Peace.
I'm Mark Evans Dean. I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. Time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at. It's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM project. From a small town in Ohio. know how it is. Did not come from a lot of money, I remember as a kid. Wanted to make 100 racks, didn't see no one making more than that. Graduated high school with a 1.8, thought they should've held me back. I hope my principals and teachers are alive just to witness this. I'm my own boss, I'm out here running 2-8-figure businesses. I can walk away from it all, and I'll be good, but I've been called to help people just like y'all learn the game. It's time to ball. Everybody chasing the money, but I'm not chasing the money. I'm out here chasing the purpose, yo, I've been working my whole life. What got us where we at isn't gonna get us where we wanna go. So it's time to push, time to learn, time to grow. I'm Mark Evans DM, I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals, time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker, I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at, it's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM project. I'm Mark Evans DM, I'm deal maker, deal maker, deal maker, deal maker, DM project.
This is the podcastfactory.com.